Pokken Tournament. Brilliant, unique, mechanically sound, deeper than you think. I want to start this review by saying I grew up in the era when fighting games dominated the arcades, where two people would square off and relentlessly battle until one remained victor, and thus having bragging rights until he heard the words, "I got next," and begin the process all over again. It was an era when a pocket full of quarters meant you wanted to be the very best like no one ever was. Fighting games dominated: Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. Even Square got into the mix with Guys, God Bless the Ring, an arena fighting game that includes characters from Final Fantasy VII. The era of arcades has long since passed in America, yet they still flourish in Asia. But fighting games found a home on consoles, with new iterations of Street Fighter popping up every 2 years or so, and Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct have been revived as well. Fighting games are here to stay. But new entries into the FGC can be mocked and ostracized. Just ask the Smash community how long it took for even some semblance of recognition from the larger FGC, but that's a different story. All this to say, there's a new game looking to break its way into the FGC, Pokken Tournament. It is a game that strives to not only reach the hardcore and the casuals, it also strives to reach the Pokemon community as a whole. This game wants to serve many masters, but does Bandai Namco's newest fighter achieve that goal? Let's start with the graphics. Pokken Tournament masterfully takes Pokemon and brings them into full 3D in ways that Pokemon Stadium could only have dreamed of. These are some of the best looking graphics to grace the Pokemon franchise. Not only that, they are some of the best looking graphics on the Wii U, period. It is honestly a shame that a game this beautiful comes out right as the console has one foot out the door. The game also features 2D player avatars that are fully customizable that add to the richness of the overall graphics. Pokken Tournament gets a 10 in this category. Moving on to the roster, this is one thing that all fighting games have in common. Character rosters and the richness of said roster can be a thing of anticipation. Just look to the Smash community to see how excited or angry players get when new characters are announced. Pokken Tournament's roster of 16 is one area where the game falls extraordinarily short. Bandai co-developed Super Smash Bros. For Wii U with Nintendo, and that game launched with 51 playable characters, 6 of them being Pokemon. There are currently over 700 Pokemon. To limit the roster to 16 seems like a tremendous misstep, and one can only hope this will be rectified by DLC in a similar manner to Super Smash Bros. That being said, the roster is actually pretty diverse, from mainstays like Pikachu and Charizard to the most obscure Chandelure. Each character brings a unique playing style that will have the most competent of the FGC looking to master and develop a metagame, while casual players and Pokemon fans alike will gravitate to the characters they find the most appealing. The roster is slightly bolstered by 30 support Pokemon, which come in pairs and are used to aid the 16 playable characters in combat. Still though, it is sad to see that Greninja, who had received so much hype when he debuted in Smash, is excluded from Pokken in favor of multiple Pikachus. In this category, Pokken Tournament gets a 6. Gameplay. Gameplay is this fantastic blend of 2D fighter and 3D arena fighter. Each battle begins in field phase, which is primarily based on 3D fighters like Tekken and Soul Calibur. This phase favors long-range attacks and requires specific directional input in order to fully control the movements of the Pokemon and control the tide of battle. Hitting an opponent hard enough will knock them into duel phase, which clearly takes influence from traditional 2D fighters like Street Fighter. It is in this phase that close-range melee attacks can be used to dominate an opponent. Once again, landing a strong enough blow will launch the opponent back into field phase, thus adding a new layer of strategy that the most adept players will be able to control almost at will. The game's combat system is both simple and complex at the same time. The game is easy enough for any casual fan to pick up and play right away, yet underneath it all is a complex system that utilizes counterattacks, grabs, strikes, and all can be chained together to perform devastating strings of combos. The game also utilizes a burst mode, which basically performs the same function of a Super in Street Fighter or a Smash Ball in Super Smash Bros. The game also uses the support Pokemon to aid your Pokemon in battle. Support Pokemon can be used to raise HP, perform attacks, and cause status effects, something that can be used to turn the tide of battle. To go back to the combat system for a minute, the main Pokemon series has a rock, paper, scissors approach, with grass beating water, water beating fire, and fire beating grass. Pokken Tournament recreates this in its own unique way due to the fact that the fire, grass, water system would severely hurt a fighting game. Instead, Pokken breaks it down like this: strikes beat grabs, grabs beat counters, counters beat strikes. It is in this way that Pokken Tournament appeals to not only the hardcore but the casual as well. All this to say, the game is both simple and complex by design. In this category, Pokken gets a 10. Story. Like all fighting games, Pokken Tournament's story is not much to brag about. It is mostly there to help players advance their techniques and find a suitable fighting style. The player competes in league battles and wishes to rise through the ranks with the threat of Shadow Mewtwo looming over the characters' heads. In this aspect, Pokken gets a 7. Game modes. The game features a variety of play modes. The main story mode is the Ferrum League, a mode in which you enter battles to raise your Pokemon's level and to raise your rank within the league. The next mode is Free Battle, which allows you to participate in matches that don't affect your standing within the Ferrum League, but do get added to your overall win-loss record. Both the Ferrum League and Free Battles are designed as a means of developing newcomer skills. Then you have your competitive modes, with local multiplayer and online multiplayer. Online multiplayer breaks down into two categories, for fun and ranked battles. They're both pretty self-explanatory. Online multiplayer matchmaking is one of the positives this game has, connecting players to matches very quickly, and this is something of note. While online matches occasionally suffer from lag, it is nowhere near the amount of lag I deal with when playing Smash 4 and Splatoon. The servers being used for Pokken are much better, and it is a welcome change. There are plenty of modes within this game to keep players occupied. In this category, Pokken gets a 9. And what's the verdict? As I said earlier, Pokken Tournament seeks to serve many masters, and it succeeds in that goal in almost every way possible. Members of the FGC will find a deep metagame hidden behind adorable visuals. Pokemon fans will find themselves happy with the rock paper scissors mechanics that have made them love the franchise as a whole, and casual gamers will love the accessibility of the game. Pokken is a standout fighting game that I think will give Street Fighter V a run for its money. I can only hope the overall FGC sees the value of this game and helps build the community as strong as Street Fighter and Smash communities. That being said, the game doesn't need their support. It already is a hit. Pokken Tournament gets an 8.4.